Hello, everybody. So Bitcoin is just trading below 89,000 as I record this. It's the Friday deal. It's the Friday afternoon low price that you usually get, and you literally can't make this stuff up. Every Friday afternoon and also Sunday night for months and months and months now, it is the same story. The leverage traders or pair traders are getting liquidated. I actually took 3 screenshots from Marty Party's stream right there. I took 3 screenshots, about a minute apart for each of these screenshots. I guess this one's more like 5 minutes apart. But you can see we're at 89.6, we were at 90, and you can see this line right there is going to get liquidated. And then it goes down, we're at 89.5, that line is liquidated. And then we went down all the way to 88.200, but you can see at 88.800, all of these line right there, so they were leverage traders, leverage longs. They were trying to, make, 50x, 100x, whatever return of Bitcoin was. They all get they all get liquidated. They all get dumped, right? It all gets liquidated. This usually goes until the end of a trading day, and when Wall Street goes home, then the Bitcoin price goes back up and liquidates the shorts. And so all of these will be liquidated too. But unfortunately, that tends to happen on the weekends, and that tends to happen, outside of trading hours. So as long as we don't have a Clarity Act, as long as we don't have a Congress moving on some of these bills, these short-term movements that make very little sense are just going to continue to happen, and it is always like clockwork. It's always like clockwork. So we're at 88 something right now as I record this. Let's talk about MSTR now. Of course, logically, MSTR is going to drop on this. It's the largest corporate holder of Bitcoin. MSTR is actually down 4.8% as I record this. IBIT is down 4.3%. So MSTR is greatly outperforming today. Today, MSTR should be down, more like 7-ish%, 6 to 7%. It is about the same performance as IBIT. So today, MSTR's performance is doing well. MNAV is slowly bouncing back. And of course, we are sticking to the plan. This is Stretch. Stretch is trading at 98. My guess is that on December 9, when we get the rate cut, Stretch will see a natural boost as the market reevaluates the delta between Stretch's yield and the new SOFR yield, which will be lowered by 25 basis points, most likely 83% according to Kalshi, but it will be lowered by 25 basis points. And so the delta will be bigger, which means that the stock price of Stretch has to go up. And of course, whenever we are at 100.01, he will ATM like mad. Saylor will ATM like mad. So all Saylor has to do right now is sit on his hands and do nothing. He may have ATM'd at the beginning of the week to get the cash reserve to 24 months, and then he's done. Then he just needs to stop and wait. It's just a waiting game at this point. If you don't do leverage, if you don't do options, if you don't do things like MSTX, you're good. You're good. But if you're trying to time it, it's risky, right? I don't try to time MSTR, and I certainly don't try to time a lot of stocks right now in this market. I still don't trust this market. There is something very weird about the liquidity going on. There is something very weird about a lot of amazing companies with amazing results selling off hard, and they didn't used to sell off hard, over I guess the past year when they had amazing results. Something has changed. I don't know. Maybe I'm entirely wrong. Maybe it's a feeling. Maybe it's an intuition. I can't quite explain it. It's clearly subconscious what I feel, but I feel something is off about this market. I keep feeling this. So, anyways. MSTR updates. Okay, so very interesting. So today, they met. He met the CEO of Binance. They're having a Dubai conference. So CZ and Saylor met, which is very interesting. And of course, Saylor is a very amiable guy. He's a very agreeable guy, and so I'm sure they got along. Although I'm pretty sure Saylor did not meet Peter Schiff, because this was a great moment in Bitcoin. And so a lot of people, I've been saying Peter Schiff is never making a good faith argument in favor of gold. And I agree with Vivek Sen here. Peter Schiff totally destroyed CZ totally destroyed Peter Schiff by defending Bitcoin and showing, this is gold, is this real gold? And of course, it's probably not real gold. It's probably a counterfeit. And inside you have lead or tungsten or some type of a heavy metal that with a very, very similar mass to gold. And you just gold plate it. You put a little bit of gold, and then you're like, hey, is this real gold? And it's like, I don't know. Well, yeah, you don't know because you can't verify gold. That's the problem. You can't know how many gold is in the reserves of the central banks. We saw the audit of Fort Knox, which for some reason never happened. It was supposed to happen. It was a campaign promise. It was supposed to happen. It never happened. You don't know how much gold there is. They found a lot of gold recently in Africa. They found a lot of gold recently in Iran. There's plenty of ways to collect gold. Gold is, as the price of gold goes up, we're going to find more and more gold. And the more gold we find, the more supply of gold we have, and the more the price of gold is going to drop. Bitcoin has a finite supply, and Bitcoin can be verified that it's real. So that's I think, that speaks volumes to CZ, right? Because there is an exchange which may or may not be owned by CZ, which is always accused of doing this, and allegedly, right? And this exchange may or may not belong to CZ. It may or may not. I don't know. The point is, actually, I think CZ fundamentally believes in Bitcoin, and that video proved it for me. And I'm actually gonna watch the whole debate, even though I don't need to be convinced of that, but I'll still watch the whole debate. That's pretty interesting. Lastly, I want to talk about a few engagement bait articles. Engagement farming all over social media, articles, etc. saying, will MSTR be included in the S&P? MSTR is not getting included in the S&P. We are nowhere close to that, right? This is a conversation for 2028. This is not a conversation for 2025. I know a lot of people want a lot of clicks, but it's not happening. In my view, again, I may be wrong, but it's not happening. And so tonight, after market close, we know who's going to join the S&P. A lot of people are saying it's going to be SoFi who's going to join the S&P. A lot of people are trying to pitch their stock for engagement farming and say, my stock is going to join the S&P. Well, I am here to tell you that S&P is not happening. I think adding cash to the balance sheet is a good move from Saylor, and it could help. It could help enhance the credit worthiness of strategy, but otherwise, I don't think it's happening anytime soon. We need the Basel rules to change, and we need the S&P ratings to look at Bitcoin as something with a value greater than 0, and that's the problem right now. S&P ratings, debt ratings, credit ratings value the Bitcoin at a value of 0. And we had that same problem in the past with gap accounting and indefinite intangible accounting, which was recognizing Bitcoin on the balance sheet as the value of 0. Now, these rating agencies also need to change their stance on Bitcoin, and that will happen, but that will take probably a few more years. So I don't think it's happening, but that's just me. So anyways, this was not financial advice. This is never investment advice on this channel, only entertainment. I'm hoping you were entertained. Please like, please subscribe, follow me on Patreon, follow me on X. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.